Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets, we building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I'm your host, QB So effing amazing. As always, y'all, any guests that I bring on this platform, it's a reason for that. They obviously have something valuable to offer. Right now, I have Arias WebsterBerry, right? And as I was going through this guy's bio, he has a lot of different things that he has accomplished as an individual. So Arias, man, how are you, brother?
I'm doing amazing, man. How about you?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm grateful, man, that you had, you put the time aside to be able to hop on here for 30 minutes or so to speak about as far as what you do and how what you're doing is helping business owners take their business to a whole nother level. So before I go into the questions that I have for you, could you tell us about Arias Websterberry? Like as far as exactly what I'm saying in your bio, man, as far as what you help individuals accomplish, explain that to us.
Yeah, man. So my name is Arias WebsterBerry. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I am a speaker and a trainer. I own WebsterBerry Marketing, which is a full-service digital marketing agency. We do everything from social media management, social media advertising, ad buying, website development, social sales funnels, app development. The whole gamut when it comes to marketing. And we also have a all-in-one platform called Ignite Funnels that you can build and manage your business on. And recently, about 2 years ago, we've developed a program called Launch Ignition that helps budding entrepreneurs and small businesses, usually within their first 3 to 5 years, plan, build, and scale their businesses to six figures and beyond.
Oh man, that's big, man. So that goes back to, so this goes directly into what I'm about to ask you, right? So the part of your bio that caught my attention, obviously the entire bio was interesting, but the part that caught me the most was your upbringing, right? You had mentioned that you stayed in a single parent household. Now, let me know if I'm getting too personal, but sometimes the audience like to hear about the person that they listening to. So you mentioned that you grew up in a single parent household where your mom had, she was working two full-time jobs, and the father had, was addicted to, drugs or whatnot, right? So I guess, how did growing up in those circumstances, but you also mentioned that you was home, you was homeless at one point?
Indeed.
Okay, so how did growing up in those circumstances, shape your perspective on life and just the things that you were interested in?
Yeah, man. I pretty normal kid. I grew up in Dallas, or I was born in Dallas. I was raised in San Diego.
Mm.
We lived a middle class life. My mom worked two jobs to make sure that I didn't really want for much. We weren't rich by any means, but lights were on, I had a roof over my head, food in the refrigerator. Um, but my dad, he wasn't around like many black and brown kids around in this country. He
Absolutely.
wasn't a presence in my life. um, he got caught up in drugs. He was a basketball star. He got a full ride scholarship to Rice University,
Mm.
and in his freshman year he ended up experimenting with drugs and getting addicted, and he battled with drugs for the better part of probably about 15 years. And he eventually lost that battle, and he passed away tragically.
Man, my
He,
condolences, bro.
yeah, man. And at the time we were in San Diego. My parents weren't together. He was still here in Texas, and luckily I had the opportunity to speak with him probably about 2 to 3 months before he passed. And my mom had um, basically told him, you need to level with your son. You need to explain why you haven't been around, why you were absent. He was in and out of jail as a result of his addiction, and So we flew to Dallas. I think it was Thanksgiving. He and I went to go play basketball, and he was really an open book. I got to ask all the questions. You went to jail for what? You seems like you were doing drugs and stuff like that. What kind? Why? How? When? Why was that more important, or how did you get into this? And it was a tough conversation, but I do have to
Yeah.
commend him in the fact that he was honest.
Right,
And
right.
I get back to San Diego, and a couple months later, we find out that he was killed in an altercation with three police officers on a
Oh
freeway.
man.
And
Oh,
it was tough. I was 13. I was a freshman in high school, so I'm still trying to figure out the changes in me now being in high school, bodily changes, hormonal changes, and really trying to figure my way in life and grow to be a man. And you lose your only example of a man. So it was tough, but it taught me the things that I didn't want. It taught me the things to be leery of when it comes to experimenting with drugs and alcohol.
mhm.
The potential consequences and where it could lead your life. And as a result, I truly believe that it steered me onto my current path.
Okay, so one thing when I listen to other podcasts, it tells me how good a host is, right? Sometimes you will have a list of questions that may not play out, you know what I'm saying? Because when your guest is speaking, they tend to say things that allows you to think of another question on the fly. And I think
Mhm,
that's part of being a good host is having the ability to listen. So one
mhm,
thing that I had that caught me that you just said is that your dad was an open book when you had all these questions, right?
mhm,
So he kind of, if not kind of, he did provide you the closure with the closure that you needed, right? To maybe it was some pain that you was dealing with, and being able to speak to him and ask him whatever it is you wanted to ask, and he answered it to the best of his ability, gave you the
mhm.
closure that you needed. Am I correct?
At the time, I don't know if it gave me the closure. At that time, I was still angry that he wasn't around. I was still angry at his life choices.
Mm-hmm.
Still many things that I didn't truly understand. Um, but as I grew older, it did. I replayed the conversation and the things that I was able to glean.
Right,
Um,
right.
it definitely helped, right? I definitely helped me to avoid some of the same mistakes by understanding some of his shortcomings, some of the demons he was battling, and him being half of me. Those are things that I could have fell prey to had I not been aware.
Okay, because they say statistically a child needs a father in his life, his or her life, in order to have a better chance at success. So do you feel like that talk with your father gave you the motivation and strength that you needed to become who you are today?
Um, Eventually, yeah, I actually think initially it did more harm. His passing did more harm. The conversation eventually had an impact on me.
Hmm.
Uh, but, I think you can experience is the best teacher, and you can either learn from your own personal experiences or you can learn from someone else's. And
Right, right.
his experiences and him sharing them with me definitely let me know that that was not where I wanted my life to go. I didn't want to spend time in jail. I didn't want to um, you know grapple with addiction, and the type of person that it takes you into, in the level of shame and stigma that comes with that lifestyle.
Hmm. So, man, Arias, man, appreciate you for sharing your background. Right, it's not easy being allowing people to enter your personal life, right?
Mhm.
So before we move on to the business side of things, right? What is some advice that you can give other people that may have been in those same situations? What advice could you give them to help them like turn their adversity to opportunity?
Yeah, I call it turning adversity into advantage. You know, these challenges that I experienced could have held me back, um, but instead they became the foundation for my resilience, for my creativity,
Hmm.
my drive to build something meaningful, to be someone that contributes something to society. And I would say um, it's not where you start, it's where you finish and how you
Facts.
finish.
Hmm.
Just because you may come from nothing or a less than optimal situation, or you're in an area where it's drugs and crime and very little opportunity, doesn't mean that that's all you have as options. There's opportunity, there are there are gateways and paths all around you. You just have to tune yourself to be able to see them and take advantage.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely a mentality thing, man. Man, appreciate you, Aries. Now, the biggest thing I want to talk, because I'm very in tune with artificial intelligence, right? Obviously, it's so much to learn about, AI technology, right?
Mhm.
What, as far as your company and the great things that y'all are doing, right? What are some promising, like what are some applications of AI in digital marketing?
I mean, honestly, man, they're limitless. We on my agency side with WebsterBerry Marketing, we use it to generate ideas
Mm,
quicker. We use it to refine messaging. We use it to analyze meetings. I don't think there's a meeting that we go into now that we don't use AI as a note taker. That we then creates a synopsis of the meeting, action items automatically before people even get out of the meeting. They've got that
mm,
synopsis and those action items. So it reduces the amount of busy work and administrative work that my team has to do in order to just live up to the things that we said we were going to do in a meeting. Um, but as far as other applications, we use it to analyze data. So when we're running campaigns or managing social media for people, it analyzes data and kind of helps us sift through and get to solutions faster and draw
mm.
conclusions faster. Um, and then we have a platform that we built, Launch Ignition AI, which it was a platform before AI came along. But once ChatGPT came, we said we needed to figure out how to infuse generative AI and large language models into the framework that we already had in Launch Ignition. And Launch Ignition was born to help um, budding entrepreneurs and small business owners structure their business, sequence it so that it can be fully planned. You can build it strong and you know eventually scale it. So we took AI, we put it in the middle, and now it started to do all the heavy lifting. So we were able to cut the amount of time it took entrepreneurs to go through our program by about 50 to 60%.
So my thing is that, I still think there's a lot of business owners that have yet to grab the importance of artificial intelligence, right?
Hmm.
Do you think it will get to a point to where if you are a business owner, you have a business and you are not implementing AI technology, that it'd be impossible to keep up with, your competitors?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're already seeing it.
Mm,
Right now AI is not. I think most people think of AI and they think of it as some monolithic organism that's somewhere on some server operating on its own.
yeah.
And right now it's not that. It's really very much in its fetal stages, or maybe we'll say toddler stages,
Mm,
um, and it's going to get even more. So right now AI itself is not going to replace you, but the person that you're competing with that is using it is going
it's
to run
going
circles around you. Just
absolutely.
the ability to compute things and come up with solutions and results faster, using its capabilities is limitless, at this point. So yeah, I think that if you're not figuring out how to incorporate this into your everyday workflow, into using it to make you faster, stronger, more agile, then yeah, maybe in 5 to 10 years, more like five. You're gonna have a hard time being able to keep up. Your prices are going to be way more expensive than your competitors
Absolutely.
because they can do it faster.
Hmm. Now the thing is that well, artificial intelligence too. Kind of lost my train of thought. Um, So a lot of us, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. So unfortunately, there is some guys, some individuals that may have a business, but everybody isn't fortunate to have a team of individuals to help run that business, right?
Mhm.
So with artificial intelligence, you literally can have a AI for every role of the business. It's like you can have your own team of entrepreneur, your own team in the palm of your hands or sitting right in your pocket to be able to do what you wanted to do. So that's another thing that's important is that when if you are somebody that have a business and you begin to feel discouraged because you feel like you don't have the team or the supportive system that every other business may have, utilizing artificial intelligence and really doing your due diligence on what a particular AI can do for whatever job that may be, can help you compete with people that have actual people, running their business, so that's another important thing. um so as far as automating, like, could you explain what automation is when it comes to AI?
Yeah, I mean that's the basis of artificial intelligence, right? It's buzzword now, but AI has been around for 40 years. It's been around for a very very long time, and it's just now comes to the point where the average person can interact with it and you understand it and utilize it because it's become fit for consumer use instead of commercial. um, I mean, that's all AI is. It's a series of very simple automations. So, if I fill out this form, what happens? Oh, well, I'll trigger an email to say, hey, I got your form submission. Thank you. Or take this next step. Or, once that form is submitted, plug that information into a spreadsheet. um, where we've seen where most people talk about AI, it's the generative AI. So I give a prompt and it spits back a whole bunch of information, drawing from large language models. When you take um, simple automations like I talked about, hey, fill out a form, trigger a message, and then you combine that with the ability to process information, generative AI, well, then it becomes very powerful, right? It has the ability to interact in our world and have conversations with us and pull data from various sources to make it more intelligent. So automation is actually the area that most people don't talk about, and it's probably the most impactful when it comes to small businesses. Your ability to um, process a payment and send a invoice or a receipt of payment automatically, that's an automation. Your ability to set email marketing messages to go out for the next month, but you sit down all it for an hour and you set those up. Well, that's automation that has an impact on your business because it's marketing to people even though you're not actively doing anything. um, Learning those simple automations or finding someone like our company, we built them very elaborate automations for our clients, is critical because it's never been easier to get access to this technology. It's never been cheaper to get access to this technology. It's never been faster to deploy this stuff in your business. All these things we're talking about typically can be accessed for under $100, sometimes $20, $10. So I think it's just a matter of business owners stopping and taking the time to learn what's possible, and then making the commitment that they're going to figure out how to get this implemented in their business. And it doesn't mean that you need to have a computer science degree. You don't need to learn coding and all these different things, but you do need to commit to implementing it in your business. And if you're not going to learn it, you need to find somebody who is. Oh, you're on mute. Oh, I think it switched. Same issue we were having earlier. Yeah, you're unmuted, but it's not coming through. Mm-mm. Make sure it's not on my side. No, we're still set.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. All right. Some technical issue going on. I'm figuring it out. But yeah, man, with the AI, it's so many different tools that, even though you could pay someone to do the work for you, it really don't take it take little to no time to just learning how it works. And then with the click of a button, you just automated your entire system, you know what I'm saying? So it's a platform that I ran into called Opus, like, for all content creators, really. I'm sure
Hmm.
you heard of Opus.
Yeah, I've
Um,
used it.
but just to explain to them what Opus is that it was at a point to where, with the podcast, right? I used to export the episode manually and try to pick and choose clips to cut up out of there. And it was so time consuming because I had to cut out those clips, add captions to it, any filters to make it look presentable, whatever the case may be. And then a buddy of mine threw Opus my way. And he was like, look, bro, check this out. So what Opus do is it pretty much it could take a 30-minute clip, hour long video, however long it may be. And within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, Opus will pull out the most viral clips that it believe will go viral. You know what I'm saying? It probably can be about 30 clips that it just pulled out of a 30-minute video. And then it will rate the clips on, the chances that it have as far as it going viral. Right. And then
Yeah.
it also have an option in there to where it can auto schedule the content for you. So now your content is just uploading without you having to manually do it. So I can schedule content out for an entire month, and the AI is just uploading the content for me without me even doing nothing, which gives me the time to be able to focus on other things.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wanted to throw that
again,
in there.
that's a workflow, right?
Yeah.
Just, again, a little bit of AI, a very simple tool. Opus, I don't know, it's maybe 20, $30 a month, if that, right?
Mm,
But it can cut down the amount of time it takes for you to produce content.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, like even just long form content like this, but then, like you said, those clips, which is a great way to draw a new audience to you and get them to sample, the most interesting part of the long form content that you have. And if they see enough of them and they like it, maybe they'll watch, the whole video. But
Absolutely.
that would have taken a team of 1 to 2 people and
uh,
maybe a couple weeks at
yeah.
least, to get that done. And now
Hmm.
you can do that within an hour,
Click
by
of a
just sitting
button, man.
down and letting it do a couple things, making a couple tweaks, and you're ready to go. So yeah, man, we're getting to the point where, like I said, if you're not using it, you just won't be able to keep up. There's two. It can always do it faster.
Hmm. So it was something that you had said as far as like the email marketing, right? You automating your email marketing. Do you feel like that would come in between? I had the question on here. Like, do you feel like that's taken away from that human touch, right? In a sense, right, where you can because some people like to directly communicate with the customers and some don't.
Mhm.
Do you feel like it's kind of eliminating that human touch that some business owners may have as far as building a relationship with the customer?
No, not at all. Reality is most people don't have the time. If you're a business owner, you are usually everything to your business, especially those first few years. You're the janitor, you're the salesperson, you're the marketer, you're actually performing the service or building the product.
Mm,
You're the accountant, you're a lawyer, you're doing all these things. So most people don't have the time to sit and send out 1,000 emails or 2,000 emails individually, and they definitely don't have the time to respond 4 or 5 times to each one of those. So
hmm
using automation allows you to um, utilize computers to get in front of more people quicker, and then
Facts.
you can then respond to the people who respond to you.
Hmm.
Those are the people that are most likely most interested. Or you can, if you're using a certain system like with us with Ignite Funnels, you can set anybody who opened or clicked or responded on a list, and then you can set a task to call them, like to set it up in the system, like, hey, these are the people that are most interested. They actually responded, or they actually clicked the link in your email. Why don't you give them a call tomorrow? Right.
Mm.
So again, it's the ability to still have a personal connection, but utilizing the efficiency and the power of a computer and automations to help you sift through and get to the people that are actually interested in making a buying or a purchase right now.
Mm. I like that, man. That was amazing, an amazing explanation, man. So I know you done gave so much advice already as far as automating, right? But what is some additional advice for business owners out there that can help drive their growth without giving too much, we're not giving too much sauce, but what is some additional advice that you may have for
Oh man, we give as much as we can.
them?
I'm here to help, and if I tell somebody something and it moves their business forward, well, then that's enough for me. So I
Right.
think the one thing that nobody wants to hear and nobody wants to focus on is being very proficient in two things. One, generating leads, so finding people, a predictable source where you can find people that are interested in your products or services, uh,
Hmm.
predictable. And then probably the more important thing is becoming very proficient at sales. And that's the thing that nobody really wants to talk about. Sales is a synonym for revenue. Revenue, hopefully, is a synonym for profit. So if you have no sales, you have no profit. I can't tell you, if I had a nickel for every entrepreneur or business owner that I've met that say, I don't like sales. I'm not a salesman. I'm not good at sales. I don't really like it. All those different things. I'd probably be a millionaire.
Mm.
Uh, I mean, well, more than I already am. But uh, you
Yeah.
know, it it's critical that
Mm.
you release that negative thought process, release those negative words, that energy that you allow to kind of permeate your brain and your body when it comes to sales. Sales is how your business grows. Sales is how you feed your family. Sales is how you provide your product or service to someone to solve the problem that they have.
Now,
And
Aries, my fault
yeah,
for cutting you off, man.
okay.
But I wanted to ask you before. Now, do you mind sharing the prices of the services that you guys offer? Or is that something they just gotta come check y'all out and look it up?
Oh yeah, I mean we're transparent. Us hiding it isn't gonna make the price change.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I mean we have a lot of services, we have a lot of products. On the agency side, well, let's start with Ignite Funnels. It's extremely affordable. It's an extremely powerful system. Whether you're a solopreneur and just getting started, or you have 500 or 5,000 employees in your enterprise.
Mhm.
Ignite Funnels has all of the tools that you need to run your business, right? From payment processing to drag and drop website builder, email marketing, text marketing. You can send out invoices. There's a phone system built into it, so you can text and make phone calls and receive text and phone calls from your from potential customers. All that wrapped into one, and the pricing is real simple. We have three packages. One's 57, the other one's 97, the other one's 157, just depending on the level of functionality per month. It's very very affordable for the amount of technology that you get. There's generative
Ain't bad.
AI in it. Voicemail systems. There's a ton of stuff in there. You get way more value than what you're paying for.
That's actually very affordable, man, compared to other companies that I have run into, and I'm sure other people have ran into. That's very affordable, right? But I also want to throw this in there too. It's like you can't expect to get anywhere if you're not willing to invest in what you're doing. If you don't believe in what you're doing enough to invest into it, then you probably shouldn't have been doing it to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And you said 57, was it 97 and 157?
Correct.
That those are very affordable prices compared to any other company that I have ran into that's asking for $400-500 a month. And I didn't seen, I forgot the name of the company, but they was out here charging people $500 a month, and they wasn't even seeing results from it. You know what I'm saying? So 157 for the third package is very affordable. If you can't figure out a way to invest that into your business, then maybe being a business owner ain't for you. Ain't isn't for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, so
Um, yeah, and then on the done for you side, I mean, launch ignition is what we're focused on, and for that, there's a couple grand. We take you through an entire process to truly get your business set up and get you into profitability. So that's
mm,
more expensive. But on our agency side, with our marketing, like our social media marketing packages, they start at around $300 a month, and they go up to around 1,000.
mm,
But in that, I'd say our $1,000 package, we help people get guest appearances on podcasts. We help them get listed in major publications and authority sites. Like the LA Weekly, or Texas Today, and New York Wire. Some of these big publications that allow them to get to an audience that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to get to.
right.
Um, so again, we try to create packages for all budget ranges, and we have a lot of different services. So as clients grow with us, they kind of stack services, and they get more and more results.
Man, appreciate that, Aries, man. That very, very informative episode, man. And I feel like, the people that watch this is going to find some value in what they just heard. And I trust that they'll come to y'all and help with the development of their business. Man, is there anything else you want to add in there for the people? Anything new? Any books that you have available? Like what else you want to add in there?
Yeah, man. If you want to get my book, I wrote a book called Content Canon. It's how you can build a whole month's worth of content for your business in one day. It's
Mm.
available in Barnes and Noble. It's on Amazon and most book retailers, or you can just go to my website, ariaswebsterberry.com, and the book is there. All my businesses are there, as well as my social media.
You said it's called Content Can. It's at Barnes. Man, I'm finna go to Barnes and Nobles today, man.
Yeah, man. It's this book, this one right here in the background, Content
Man,
Canon.
I'm finna after this. I'm finna go get that, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, man. How long is the book?
Oh, it's a quick read, man. I want to say it's 110, 120 pages.
But it's showing you how to create. You said for the next 30 days in one day.
Absolutely.
That's powerful, man. I'm definitely finna cop that, man. I'm a bookworm, so I'm finna pick that up.
Indeed.
Uh, man, Aries, man, appreciate you, brother. To be honest with you, man, if you up for it, man, I would like future episodes with you discussing other topics whenever you got the time and we can make that happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Let's do it, and let's exchange information. If you can shoot me an email with your email, your phone number and stuff like that, I'll make sure we tap in. I'll get you my information as well.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Without that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Life is good, y'all. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the guys and goddess, forever and always. Think successfully. It's excellent.